ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cross Keys Reserves here. This evening's clash between Essendon Royals and Nunawading City. We'll welcome everyone here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Tonight, the players and Essendon Royals will be having a minute of silence in memory of Matthew De Breto, a life taken too early. Matthew was best friends to members of the Royals family, Adrian and Rima Manafo. So please everybody be upstanding and pay our respects and pray for them and Matthew's wife, Marianne, and sons, Marcus and Nicholas. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the evening.
And welcome to Cross Keys Reserve on a very cold and chilly Friday night here in Essendon's northwest, where the home side, the Royals, are taking on Nunawading City in round 17 of VPL2 for 2025. Both teams looking to get back on the winners lists after disappointing results last weekend, particularly for Essendon Royals, who currently sit fourth in the table and are keen to not let the top three move away from them. They lost away from home to North Geelong last week, whilst Nunawading lost to their near neighbours, the lowly Box Hill, 1-0. So work to do for both sides. Both teams are out there, as you can see. A very frigid night here in Melbourne. Essendon Royals in their red and Nunawading City in navy blue. We'll go through the starting lineups very quickly. And for the home side, Russo in goal, Norton, Hayek, Kelly the skipper, Adeyemi up top, Jack Leach, Julian Gazzardi, Marcus Cotronis, James Thierry, Dermot Harrington and Niwa Takumi, the starting lineup. Whilst for the visitors, Martin Dennis in goal, Nicholas Apostolopoulos, Fuki Ishibashi, Andrew Vasiglio, Lucas Slavica, Stuart Edgar, Carlos Aboud, Harris Hodzic, Felix Dimitrakis, Alexander Dimitriou and James Reardon. That's the starting lineup for the visitors. And they're going towards the left of your screen or the north of the ground here at Cross Keys in this first half. And the home side going towards the right. Cade Lucas is my name, and I'll be commentating the action tonight over the next 90 minutes on the Essendon Royals YouTube page and also on Facebook. Hope you can stay with us, and hopefully wherever you are, it's in front of a fire somewhere or a heater and not out in the cold, because it is certainly winter time here in Melbourne. Had an unusually warm start to the year, but that's very much in the past now, as Russo is called into action early on, clad in light blue or lavender this evening, looking very fetching in his goalkeeping kit, the custodian for the Royals. And he rolls it out to Norton, veteran defender for the home side. And here's Edgar, tall number 9, and he pokes that straight up in the air. The keeper's got a tricky one to deal with here. And he gathers on the bounce, Russo. Blustery evening as well as being cold. It's hard to tell which team is getting any benefit from the breeze at the moment, judging by the ball sitting up. Maybe it is going slightly towards the north of the ground. We'll work that out as we go along. Good crowd here, all rugged up at Cross Keys, up on the balcony with me. Also a few around the ground, but you wouldn't blame people for staying at home tonight. Here's Hayek, and he runs into a cul-de-sac as Nunawading try to turn it over in midfield, and getting in a tangle and going down there is Abood. And he's stayed down, Carlos Abood. Laszlos Pantelides is the man in charge tonight in yellow, and he's supported by Martin Masalakovsky, the fourth official, and Lucas Benicia and Jordan Spezza, the linesman. Reardon now towards Edgar, down the near side, and that's a dangerous ball in. Claims of handball up against Apostolopoulos. The referee lets it go. Visitors doing all the attacking in these opening seconds. Here's Adiemi, first foray forward for the Royals, and it forces the keeper, Dennis, to use his head. He was outside his line, outside his box rather. But the visiting skipper did well enough. Norton now towards Takumi, number 99. He's certainly got a much higher number than anyone else from either team. No one else over 50 in either side, but the Japanese has got the very distinctive numbers on his back. As a bit of precipitation comes down. So not only is it cold and windy, but it's a bit wet too. Here's Edgar holding it up. Still, it's Edgar. He's really putting himself about in these opening minutes. Leach in midfield for Royals. Up towards Gazzardi. Claims of a free kick here on the balcony from the Royals faithful, but they fall on deaf ears. Takumi. Quick feet, goes to ground and wins a foul. And they're a little too hasty to get on with it there, Royals, and referee Pantelides will bring them back. It's going to be Graham Kelly, the Royals skipper, with the free kick here. First set piece of any note tonight. And he drifts it right into the hot spot. And his opposing captain, Dennis, didn't know too much about that. Or Martin, rather. Dennis Martin, one of those players with two first names, which confuses us commentators from time to time. Either way, he was in betwixt and between there. Fortunately for him and for Nunawading, it remains 0-0 after just under 5 minutes. And you can see that ball really holding up in the breeze there. That suggests the wind is very much going to the south. So Royals have it at their backs in this first half. It's Nunawading who are doing more of the attacking though. Here's Edgar, who's had probably more of the ball than anyone on the pitch in these opening 5 minutes or so. Old-fashioned target man with the number 9 on his back. And here's Edgar. He goes to ground, but play goes on and a flashing shot across goal. Flag goes up anyway. That was part shot, part cross. And a shot across the bows for Essendon Royals. Russo with the goal kick, but the visitors have certainly set out their stall early here. They're looking to make a fast start. It's Been a topsy-turvy season for them. They're down in 10th on the table. They have had some big wins this season. 7-1 against North Geelong among them. And they're going forward again here as a ball loops to the back post. And it's Demetriou who will try and keep it in. And he has, according to the referee. And they play on. Here's Aboud. Back towards Demetriou. Down the near side. Hakimi there with a strong challenge. And they'll earn a bit of breathing space here, Essendon Royals. James Reardon right below us, not quite being able to keep it in. And it's Hakimi again with the throw. Adiemi. Win it in midfield again to Nunawading. Reardon. Demetriou back towards Reardon. They have to retreat. And that goes all the way back towards Martin, and that's not a great clearance by the skipper. Fortunately, he's got teammates there in support. Visiglio was one of them. Now Leach arrives for Royals. And herring down the channel is Cotronis, but he has some wheels, but they're not that fast. He can't quite keep it in. But there's a bit in it for both teams here in these opening 10 minutes. Nunawading have certainly done more of the attacking, but Royals have seen enough to know that there could be some joy for them too, as Edgar looks to hold it up, and suddenly it's opened up for him, and he plays in Demetriou, who really should have put the visitors in front. That was a sitter. And Edgar, the big fella, suddenly, like Moses with the Israelites, the Red Sea opened for him, the seas parted. He had all sorts of space, and he opened the door for Demetriou. That's as good a chance as he's going to get. And he sent it just over the bar. Royals looking to quickly get it back up the other end. Aboud with an intervention. And now Dimitrakis, tall, statuesque centre-back. And here's Edgar again, causing all sorts of problems for the Royals' defence here early on. Norton over towards Hakimi. Importantly won that challenge against Demetriou, and then another one. And then a disappointing pass. Leach. Cotronis towards Adiemi. Has Hodzic right with him. Harris Hodzic. I'm not sure if he's man marking Adiemi or not, but if he is, he's got a big job ahead of him. He's certainly the danger man up top for the home side. Now Harrington. Very high line here from Royals. A bit on the back foot for this opening stanza, but are now looking to turn things around. Harrington again. Over towards Norton on the halfway line. Long ball forward. Nobody home on this occasion. And Dennis Martin is happy to see it out of play. Here's Edgar once again. He's really causing problems, and he might have opened up an opportunity here. And it comes towards Apostolopoulos. And another gilt-edged chance goes begging for Nunawading, who could easily be 2 up here. We've played just under 11 minutes, and they've done all the attacking, and they have had 2 golden opportunities, which really should have been put away. One for Demetriou, and then Nicholas Apostolopoulos sliding that ball across the face of goal. And The common denominator in both was Stuart Edgar with his hold-up play. He was the one who created both chances. He might be thinking to himself, what's the point of making chances for others? I might as well take them myself next time. Takumi. Norton. Takumi goes in search of his teammate Gazzardi. Crowd here on the balcony urging the Royals to get further forward. They're very much playing on the break at the moment. Martin sends that high into the night sky here across Keys. Takumi wins the taller man Edgar. Now Hakimi just pokes it forward. Hodzic is there to meet it. Risky pass. Adiemi might be in here. This could cost Nunawading. It's Adiemi. The defence is scrambling. Navy blue shirts get back in numbers as Adiemi still has it. He's wheeling around and he's fouled. Essendon Royals certainly looking to play on the break, and it very nearly paid dividends for them there. Jordan Adiemi is the last player you want to sneak out the back like that. And Nunawading did well to force a free kick, which is going to be taken by Graham Kelly. We've gone 13 minutes at Cross Keys. Kelly on the far side, right on the edge of his range. Has the breeze at his back. Will he go for a shot or will he tee up a header? Here he goes. He does go for a shot and he stings the palms of his opposing captain Martin. And he forces a corner from the other side. Now it's Royals asking questions of the defence. After being on the back foot themselves, they go short here with the corner. Kelly, Takumi. Adiemi there to try and keep the move going, but they're backtracking. Norton, a South Melbourne defender, been here at Royals for a few years now. Harrington all the way back to Russo. Katronis falls for Leach, who's got some space in midfield. Kelly now. This is promising for the home side. Hakimi. Adiemi back towards Kelly. He might pull the trigger here. No, he lays it off back towards Adiemi, who couldn't quite get there in time. They're starting to go through the gears a little here, the home side, after a sluggish opening 10 or 15 minutes. They're now starting to play more in their opponent's half. Here's Hakimi, who directs that header on towards Adiemi. He'll get there by the byline. Hakimi now. Takumi. Oh, he just didn't catch that right. That was neither a cross nor a shot. Here's Takumi again. Adiemi. And the chain of passes comes undone. Abood under pressure. Back towards Reardon. And now Martin puts the laces through it, but the breeze means it doesn't go as far as he would have liked, and Royals are able to put the pressure on again. The tide has really turned here in the last minute or two. It's the home side really asking the questions. Here's Leach. Runs into a cul-de-sac. Now Edgar holding the ball up, but he's in his own half. Now he's in the opponent's half, and it's Nunawading who look to go on the break. Norton, with guile and experience, got back there in time. It's an entertaining contest here. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching. Cade Lucas calling it for you tonight at Cross Keys Reserve, where the crowd is not huge, but they're very enthusiastic, and they're all huddled up here on the balcony next to me, and everyone wearing beanies and coats and long johns and goodness knows what else to keep themselves warm.
Yep. That's very true.
And here come Nunawading through a boot, and that's blocked by Harrington, and it's out for the first corner of the evening for Nunawading. All the set pieces so far have come from the home side. As the rain arrives again. And looks like it's going to be a boot to take it. Right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Edgar was there but headed it away from goal. And the flag's up anyway. Andre Russo taking his time with this goal kick. And he puts the laces through it. You can see the effect the breeze had on that. Stark contrast to Dennis Martin's clearances at the other end, so there's no doubt as to which way the breeze is going. Suddenly it opens up in midfield here for Nunawading. And they send it out wide to Slavica. And Edgar chests it down, hacking it away though is Harrington just in the nick of time. Vasiglio with the throw here, just on the edge of the final third for Nunawading. Slavicia had nowhere to go. And it'll be a throw here for the home side. Takumi the outlet. Kelly heads that off his ball dome, and then that ends up almost in the dugout on the far side. They are pretty close to the touchline here. Some dugouts are a bit further away, but they're very cosy here at Cross Keys Reserve, so wouldn't take much for a player with a head of steam to end up in them. Here's Kelly. Harrington. Leach. Got some space in midfield. Jack Leach. Long ball to no one in particular. Hodzic headed it away. Strong challenge there by Norton, who then goes down. He looks as though he's hurt himself, but it's the free kick that goes to Nunawading. It was certainly Norton who instigated that. And looks like the veteran's done himself a mischief in the process. On comes the physio, who looks like he's been exploring in Antarctica the way he's rugged up. So we have our first mini break of the game, coming just as we've crossed 20 minutes. And it's been a very even and quite an entertaining affair. 3 shots for Nunawading, including 2 gilt-edged chances to Demetrio and Apostolopoulos. Essendon Royals have had 2 shots and a free kick and a corner. They haven't had as good opportunities, but they've certainly caused Dennis Martin some worries. It's Brad Norton who's got some worries here though for Royals. And he's up, but he's clearly got a limp. And he's going towards the touchline. And it'll be interesting to see if any substitutes are being readied here for Essendon Royals, whether Mick Ferrante looks to his bench or whether Norton's going to be good enough to continue on after a bit more treatment. But the more he hobbles, the more it looks like we might have an early substitution here. And that would be bad news for Essendon Royals. I don't want to lose such a key player so early on. For the moment, they're down to 10. And it looks like there is going to be an early substitution. There's a Royals player who's getting stripped. Meanwhile, Martin doesn't clear his lines. It comes back towards Kelly. Now Katronis down the flank. The flag is down. And the defenders have missed it. Opportunity here for Gazardi. Hozic got back in time. I think it was him who had the air shot at the ball and nearly paid a hefty price. But they get it back to the safety of the halfway line, where the flag has gone up for offside anyway. And now the board goes up for a substitution. We've only played just under 23 minutes and already first substitution of the night has been made by Essendon Royals. And it's Brad Norton who's come off, and it's Gianni Liccardi who's on. Looks like he's going to play in the fullback position on the near side. Right back, so maybe Hakimi has shifted it inside. We'll try and work that out as we go. It's certainly no Brad Norton. He's going to leave a hole in the Royals' defence. Here's Takumi. Maybe attack is the best form of defence here for Royals. They're certainly looking to push the issue. Last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so, they really have taken control of the contest. Here's Liccardi, who's just come on. Adiemi tries to nutmeg Reardon recovered. And then Takumi came in, but it's adjudged to have come off him, so it's a Nunawading throw. Edgar again. Kelly just with a clever touch in midfield. Now Leach. Thierry. And here's Katronis. Looked like he was passing it to the referee. It was the only person nearby to that misplaced pass. As Nunawading win the ball back. Dimitrakis, that's not the greatest of balls back. Hodzic is there. Now Vasiglio and Martin arrives to find the safety of the touchline. They haven't really convinced when they have been deep in defence here, Nunawading. The defence might be tested here through Adiemi, but he can't quite get the cross in, and it's out for a corner. Yeah, on the few occasions when Royals have gotten in behind, the defenders and the keeper look like they're on different wavelengths at times, and it hasn't cost Nunawading so far, but you wonder how long before it does. Maybe it will here. It's Kelly with the corner from the near side. 25 minutes gone, still 0-0. He drifts it into the edge of the 6-yard box, and it sits up for Adiemi, who hesitated, and the defenders got there to foil it. It was Dimitrakis. In fact, it was Hodzic who got there with the block. Adiemi just hesitated for a split second, and that was enough. Licardi with the throw. Kelly. Here's Adiemi again. Getting in a tangle with his opponent there, Reardon. Licardi. And Adiemi was never getting to that. For all their dominance and all their front foot play in the last 10 minutes, they haven't produced too much in terms of shots here, Essendon Royals. They certainly haven't had the chances that Nunawading have. It's really that one free kick from Graham Kelly that forced a save out of Dennis Martin. And there have been some hairy moments at the back, but other than that, the home side haven't really been able to break through. Still plenty of time to go before the break. We're just short of the half hour. This game is tantalisingly poised as Dimitrakis sends it high into the night sky. Takumi skips past a couple and he pulls the trigger from a mile out. He was always asking a bit too much there, Niwa Takumi. He did have some space though, and he thought, why not? He certainly got some power behind it. It's gone well past the goal and the sheds out into the bike path. Lucky it didn't end up in Mooney Ponds Creek. Martin with the goal kick, and he's got that way skew whiff. That was like me with the driver off the tee. Fortunately, there's no bushes here, just the club room, so it is out for a throw. Takumi, nice footwork. Still is going Takumi. And now they're in supporters Gazzardi and Leach. They're teasing the Nunawading defence here. Now the ball comes in and it's headed away by Reardon for a corner. They're really turning the screw now, Essendon Royals. That early flurry from Nunawading seems a while ago. It's only the home team who look like scoring just at the minute. They go short with the corner. It's Gazzardi. Back to Kelly. Takumi. He's closer in this time. Goes with the cross. Not a great option. It goes straight up and down the chimney. All hands on deck in the Nunawading defence. They're hanging on a bit at the moment. Dimitrakis hacks it clear to give them a bit of breathing space. And for the first time in a little while, they're in the Royals' half. Edgar. Here's Apostolopoulos, now Slavica. And Dimitrakis with an interesting clearance. Kung Fu kick, sending it all the way back to his keeper. Hodzic. Now out towards Leach. Lovely touch, and he strokes it forward to Gazzardi. Ishibashi was onto it though. Otherwise Gazzardi might have been in. Ishibashi, one of two Japanese out there tonight, along with Niwa Takumi. There could have been a third, but Taira Yoshimura was a late out of the Nunawading side. Claims of a handball here for Nunawading, who've got it up near the Essendon Royals box for the first time in a while. Now it's Edgar. Lovely move there by Gazzardi, bringing it to ground, but then overcooking the ball forward. A few groans from the Royals faithful as that opportunity came to 31 minutes played at Cross Keys. Cade Lucas with you on the Essendon Royals YouTube page and Facebook page. And so far, it's an entertaining game, but it's a 0-0 draw as things stand. Both sides have had opportunities to change that, but to this point, none have. Just under 15 minutes till the half. Both teams coming off losses. One team looking to keep pace at the top of the table. The other looking to get clear of the relegation zone and get into mid-table comfort. Here's Adiemi down the flank. Aboud watching him. He goes back to Liccardo. That's a good ball in. That's a great header. And that really should have been 1-0 to Royals. Ghazardi steered it towards goal just on the wrong side of the upright. That's as close as the home side have come. Dennis Martin didn't know too much about it. Here they come again. Reardon, though, with an important intervention for Nunawading. And now they look to go on the break. Chested down by Edgar. Arriving, though, at speed was Hakimi to defuse that situation. Edgar with a lovely trap on his chest. Brought it down well. Fortunately for the home side, Rashid Hayek was alert to the danger. Dimitrakis. Ishibashi. Hodzic. It's Katronis who wins it back, and they go down the channels again here, and it's Ghazardi. He'll go all the way to the byline, and then he just sits down on his backside. Looks at the referee who says play on. Not sure what he was up to there. Julian Ghazardi. Nunawading get away with it though. Dimitrakis. Not a great clearance forward. Harrington heads it forward only as far as Ishibashi. Now Dimitrakis, he's closed down. Kelly there to pick his pocket. Good challenge on that occasion though by Aboud. It was a bit agricultural, but he managed to win the ball. It looks like he's hurt Graham Kelly in the process. May have got the Royal skipper amidships. He's also conceded a foul. So Kelly, when he recovers from that blow, is going to take the free kick, and he's very threatening from these situations, as we know. And this is in pretty dangerous territory. They're lining up on the edge of the 18-yard box. In comes the cross. And it's headed away. But looking to get the pressure on is Harrington. Spills into the air. And Martin arrives. And Nunawading breathe easy. 10 minutes to go before the break. And it's the visitors who'll be happier to go into the sheds, you'd think, with the way this game's going. After a bright first 10 minutes, it has been one-way traffic here at Cross Keys. As Reardon. Nice work initially, but his pass was misplaced. Missed the target in Dimitriou. Dimitriou, one of two Nunawading players who had great opportunities early in the game, both of which were spurned. Apostolopoulos was the other one. And as this game goes on and as Royals become ever more dominant, those missed opportunities become ever more glaring for Nunawading. But they might have another one here. It's Demetriou. And he sends the ball across. There's a man at the far post and he's missed. He's scored this time. There's no missing the opportunity this time for Nunawading. Third time's the charm. And it's Lucas Slavica who's put them in front. In the shadows of half-time, that was very much against the run of play. Almost 37 minutes played. And Essendon Royals players are shaking their heads, as are a few up here on the balcony. They can't believe they've fallen behind, but they have, thanks to Luka Slavica for Nunawading. And after 36 minutes at Cross Keys, it is Essendon Royals 0, Nunawading City 1. Well, that has changed the complexion of this game. It was all one-way traffic until it wasn't. And Lucas Slavica, he won't get too many easier goals than that. That was an even better chance than the earlier two they missed. Lucas Slavica probably couldn't have missed that even if he tried. Thankfully for Nunawading, he didn't. And they are in front. Michael Ferrente, the Essendon Royals coach, might be busily rewriting his halftime team talk. As this game suddenly looks very different to what most thought it would at halftime. Still an opportunity for Royals to get back on level terms though, as that's a pretty lusty challenge. Cries of a foul, but they fall on deaf ears again. Las Pantelides lets play go, and now belatedly he's blown the whistle. He's walking over towards the touchline. And it will be a Nunawading free kick. Apostolopoulos. He goes long. It sits up into the breeze towards Edgar, who's taken in what looked like a rugby tackle or an Aussie rules tackle there from Hayek. Referee lets it go. And now it's Licardi. Now Martin, as the rain comes down again. With more intensity than we've seen tonight. Hodzic coming forward. Long ball out wide to Demetriou, who's set up the goal. Can he do the same thing here? He's taking on Licardi. Licardi does well. Risky pass to Kelly, and then falls on his backside. Takumi's there for the men in red. Adiemi. And he skips around Ishibashi looking for Gazardi. Martin comes out. They've come this far, Nunawading. They'll be desperate to keep their noses in front at the break. Last thing I want to do now is concede with just over 5 minutes to play. In fact, we've crossed 40 minutes here. It is Essendon Royals 0, Nunawading City 1 if you've just joined us. 4 shots apiece. And free kicks and corners are pretty even too. Possession would very much be in Essendon Royals' favour, but the most important statistic of all is in favour of the visitors, and that's goals. And they've got one through Lucas Slavica, and they're in front as a result. And now they've got a man down following a pretty rugged challenge. I think it might be the goal scorer, Slavica. No, it is the number next to him on the team sheet, Vasiglio, Andrew Vasiglio. He let out a blood-curdling scream as he got caught there, but he's back up and going now. And there is another Nunawading free kick, and is that a yellow card? Couldn't quite see there from Las Pantelides. He did put his hand up, but I couldn't quite tell if it was a card or not. Anyway, it is a free kick, that we know. And Royals clear it, only as far as Apostolopoulos though. And now a Royals defender is sent flying. I think it was Harrington who went flying into the sky. Mick Ferrente is up from his bench, pleading at the referee, and he's going in the book as a result. In fact, it was Thierry who was the player caught. And he was really sent sprawling too. James Thierry, fortunately, doesn't look like he was hurt at all. But the reaction from his coach has seen him go in the book. First booking of the evening. Russo. No one home with this goal kick. Spills back into the area though, and it falls towards Kelly. Good intervention though by Dimitrakis to knock it away, and now a long ball forward. Russo on the edge of his area. Out towards Thierry. Oh, he's lost the ball. Problems here for Royals. Hayek keeps his hands out of the way. Now Takumi and Thierry, and they're out of trouble. I mentioned before that last thing Nunawading will want to do is concede after going in front. Well, Royals certainly won't want to go 2 goals down at the break. They'll be thinking themselves hard done by to be down at all as Lacardi gets in a tangle with Aboud, or sorry, Demetriou it is, and Demetriou is still down. Play goes on. Kelly. And now Gazardi, Katronis. Ishibashi knocks it out of play. And Demetriou is still down behind play, flat on his back. As Pantelides comes over to check on him. And it's been a pretty bruising contest at points, this one. It's been very entertaining too, end to end. I've seen 1 goal, we easily could have seen a few more to either team. It's been the perfect antidote to an otherwise very cold and grim Friday night. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Essendon Royals YouTube and Facebook. As we head towards half-time, Demetriou's got up. He's very proppy, but he's going to soldier on. Already seen 1 player subbed out because of injury, Brad Norton. Play back underway. Final minute of the 45, and here come Nunawading again, looking to double their lead. Just before the break, Harrington there finds the safety of the touchline, just on the edge of the final third here for Nunawading, who against the run of play are ahead. There's 6 spots in the table and 13 points in arrears of Essendon Royals. But they're in front where it matters most as Edgar on the turn. His shot's blocked. The goal scorer is Slavica just on the edge of the area. Back to our Apostolopoulos. And he was always asking a bit too much from there. As I've mentioned, they haven't had as many opportunities, or certainly haven't had as much of the ball and had it in attacking areas as much as Royals, but they have carved out the clearer chances, the better chances, Nunawading, on the occasions they have gone forward. Here come Royals. Maybe one last chance to get on level terms at half-time. We've crossed 45 minutes. We're into first half stoppage time. I didn't see the ball go up, so I'm not sure how much there is. Adiemi with a long cross that's a bit too long, and it's out of play. We have had a few stoppages, so you'd think there'd be a minute or 2 of added time. Dennis Martin with the goal kick. He'd be a pretty happy captain if he leads his team in a goal to the good at the break, which looks like that might happen. Kelly. Leach bounced on top of his head almost accidentally. Thierry. Adiemi. They're a bit stretched, the Nunawading defence. Adiemi on the edge of the area. This might be the last opportunity for the home side. There to knock it away is Hodzic. And now it's back out towards halfway. Thierry recovers. Good block there though. I think it was Slavica, the goal scorer, who got his foot in. But it's turned over in midfield. Takumi, now Gazzardi. Is this a late show? Oh, it's off the woodwork. Everyone on the balcony thought that was in, but it hit the upright. And now the ball has hit Reardon right in the midriff and ricocheted out of play. And that was an action-packed thrills and spills into a very exciting half of football here at Cross Keys. The halftime whistle's blown, and we have got a very interesting contest on our hands because the visitors and the underdogs are in front at the break. Luka Slavica, after 32 minutes with the goal against the run of play, a tap in at the far post after good build-up work from Demetriou of Nunawading. Demetriou, the same man who missed a gilt-edged chance after about 10 minutes. Nicholas Apostolopoulos also missed an opportunity to score for Nunawading about 10 minutes in, and from that point it was Essendon Royals who dominated, but they couldn't find a way through, and at the break they have a bit of thinking to do because they are behind. It is Essendon Royals 0, Nunawading City 1. It's half-time at Cross Keys Reserve. And welcome back to Cross Keys Reserve here in Essendon, where we're about to get underway for the second half, where the home side Essendon Royals are somewhat surprisingly trailing a goal late in the first half from Nunawading's Luka Slavica. Put the visitors in front after a half where the home side were comfortably the better side, though Nunawading did carve out the better chances, not just the one they scored, but they had two earlier opportunities in the first 10 or 12 minutes that they easily should have taken. And Royals getting right on the front foot here, trying to get back on level terms. They're in the red, going towards the left of your screen in the second half, going into the breeze, which is fairly strong here tonight. It's a cold, wet and windy evening. Nunawading in the navy blue with white trim going towards the southern end or the right of your screen. No changes that we can see in the second half. There was a change in the first half for Royals with Brad Norton, the defender, injuring himself after about 20 minutes and being replaced by Gianni Liccardi. But other than that, both teams have plenty of substitutes in reserve. And you can see the breeze Royals are going against in this second half with that shot there by Takumi, who sent it straight up in the air and the ball held up in the breeze, a cross in. And it ricochets out to Dimitriou. And then Apostolopoulos, who ran straight into Takumi, who recycles it back towards Kelly. Takumi again, now towards Adiemi. To the byline. Just keeps it in. Two Nunawading defenders with him. And the referee adjudges that it came off one of the visiting defenders. And it's a very early corner here at the start of this second half for Essendon Royals, who are looking to get back on level terms. They're currently fourth in the table. Nunawading are 10th. That's not reflected on the scoreline here, though, as they go short. Kelly back to Takumi, who's everywhere at the start of this second half. Into the area, and he sends it into the back of the net. Oh, what a start to the second half from Essendon Royals, and in particular, Niwa Takumi. He has been everywhere since the halftime whistle, all over the pitch, and then finally with a goal to level the scores here. And this game has changed markedly once again. It is Essendon Royals 1, Nunawading City 1, with the best part of 45 minutes to go. Whatever Mick Ferrente said to his charges at the break has worked. He might have just said, give the ball to Takumi, because he's had it on a string in the first couple of minutes of this half, and he's setting up his team here again, or in the area once again. They could go in front yet, Royals. Hodzic hacks it away. Oh. Nunawading really on their heels here in the opening 3 minutes of this second half. Liccardi to Takumi. Liccardi with the throw. Level with the 18-yard box. And now Leach. High ball, sits up in the breeze. And easy pickings for Martin. Dennis Martin, who won't keep a clean sheet now. And the Royals faithful up here on the balcony are feeling much better about things than they were a few minutes ago. As I mentioned earlier, they are fourth and they want to keep pace with the top three, coming off a loss last week. Nunawading also lost last week. And a loss this week is still very much a possibility for them, having conceded that goal. Still a long way to go here, though, at Cross Keys. Kate Lucas with you on YouTube and on Facebook. Hope you can stay with us. Got a fascinating second half still to play out here as Nunawading just chanced their arm at the back and Hodzic got caught. They have looked a little ropey in the heart of their defence at times tonight. Nunawading City. And they were lucky to get out of it there. Hodzic is a bit proppy, but he picks himself up and play back underway. Slavica, the goal scorer for Nunawading, couldn't quite reach that, but comes to the outer side where Liccardi has been a real bundle of energy since coming on. Losing Brad Norton was a blow for Royals, but his replacement has been pretty impressive in his stead. Russo decides to go short. Probably not a bad idea with the stiff breeze he's facing. A breeze which you can see there again in effect holding up that ball forward. Now Ishibashi, Edgar. Liccardi down towards Kelly. He's got Edgar right with him. There was a tug of the shirt there. You could see that from the balcony. But the referee, who was much closer than us, didn't. Though belatedly there is a free kick blown, but it's going Nunawading's way. Fair to say the faithful here on the balcony are a bit perplexed by that decision or lack of decision from Las Pantelides, and then a free kick the opposite way. Edgar flicking the header on only as far as Takumi. Bit too far out for him to score from there, as good as he's going. Hodzic sends it out wide to Demetrio, almost lost the ball, recovers. Now he does lose the ball. Leach intercepts, gets caught in the process, Jack Leach, and is a bit sore behind play. Referee letting play go on though. Ishibashi. Apostolopoulos into play there with Reardon. Apostolopoulos once again. And that's a good looking cross in, but alert to it was Hayek. And he knocks it clear. Nunawading do have the breeze at their backs in this second half, and as we saw at times in the first half, they do pack a punch. When they do get it forward, they can carve out chances. And here's Edgar, their big target man. He's at the heart of everything for the visitors. And now Reardon wound up. That shot was partially blocked though. And now Royals look to go on the break. It's Thierry to Adiemi. Goes forward, Gazardi was there over his head. Abood in midfield, goes to ground, Adiemi trying to get clear. Tempo lifted a notch or two here. This game really up for grabs. Liccardi knocked that into the shins of Edgar, and it's out for a throw here for Nunawading. In the southeastern corner of the ground here. Edgar trapped the throw. He's got three Royals around him. He's still managed to fashion a shot. It was a good effort just to get any sort of shot away there by Edgar, but he couldn't keep it down. He's a real handful though. He's big and powerful. And as we saw there, he's not short of technique either. Dimitrakis. Turned it over, and Royals have it through Kelly. Now Takumi, Dimitriou, and they were doing a bit of ballroom dancing there. Takumi and Dimitriou, free kick to Royals. Takumi has it. Back to whence it came. Kelly back to, again, he's got Apostolopoulos all over him. And again, to the consternation of the home fans, the referee lets it go. And Nunawading say thanks very much, and it's Edgar. His shot is blocked. He hustles back the big man, and their supporters are booed. And now Visiglio, and he tumbles over. And this is a foul. The challenges are certainly flying in here. Since that levelling goal, things have really gone up a few notches. Slavica with the free kick here, the goal scorer. He won't be able to add to his tally from this far out, but he might be able to assist a teammate. Here comes the free kick. It's flat, and it's controlled, or attempted to be controlled, by Apostolopoulos. He went to ground, and Royals will clear. And that sits nicely for Kelly, who helps it further forward. They're quickly up the pitch here, the home side. It's Katronis, and he flashes it towards goal. A bit ambitious from there, and it's straight into the path of Martin. This is entertaining end-to-end football, though. Early in the second half, we've played just over 10 minutes of the second half. If you've just joined us, there's been an early change to the score, with Niwa Takumi scoring on 47 minutes to cancel out Lucas Slavica's goal late in the first half for Nunawading. Lacardi. Nobody home on this occasion. Hodzic straight down the middle. And Takumi, nice touch. Looking for Gazardi, but he was just on his heels. And Dimitrakis. Now Dimitriou to Apostolopoulos. They've combined well down the flanks tonight, those two. And here's Reardon now up towards Edgar. Edgar looking to get on the turn. Couldn't quite do so, and it's Royals who come away. Hard to see this game finishing 1-1 the way it's going at the moment. Here's Reardon, just loses a handle. Leach. Katronis can't control it. The rain is thankfully abated, though I'm not sure for how long. It's still a cool and blustery evening, though. Throw here for Reardon, right in front of the Essendon Royals bench. Takumi just bounces a bit high for Gazardi, who had Ishibashi climbing all over him. And now Nunawading down the flanks. It's Dimitriou on the half volley there. That was biting off a bit more than he could chew, you could say. That's out for a goal kick, and speak of the devil, the rain is back. It's sort of come intermittently tonight. Russo with the goal kick. Takumi. He's got some hops on him. He's not a big man, but he got up to meet the ball there. Doesn't do Royals much good, though. It's Dimitriou who's got it for Nunawading, who are having a good spell here, and that's a good ball in. And it wins a round of applause for Edgar. or from Edgar rather, as it goes out for a corner here for the visitors, who are looking to retake the lead. After conceding early in this second half, they've just had a good spell the last 5 or so minutes as we tick up towards the hour mark and the rain intensifies a bit. They've got a corner from the far side, Nunawading City. Heavy traffic in the 6-yard box. It spills back out to whence it came. Thierry knocks it away, only as far as Aboud. And his pass back to Apostoulos is a bit risky. He goes all the way back to Martin. He got it away in time. And now it's out of play right on halfway. Leach. Crossfield ball finds Adiemi, who controls it nicely. Visiglio watching. Adiemi shoots. And that took a tricky bounce, but Martin saw it all the way. First shot on goal tonight for Jordan Adiemi. Probably didn't connect it as cleanly as he would have liked, but it did take a bounce just before it got to the keeper, and those can be tricky. Here's Gazardi getting in a tangle with Ishibashi, but it's the other Japanese, Takumi, who arrives. Loses the ball, though. Dimitrakis now to Dimitri, who has switched flanks, and he's got space. And he likes to use it. He's trying to play in his teammate Aboud there. It didn't quite come off. Now out to the goal scorer, Slavica. In comes the cross. Edgar's there. Edgar scores. And Nunawading City lead again. Well, if anyone deserved a goal tonight, it's Stuart Edgar. He's been a thorn in the side of Essendon Royals all evening. And now he's on the score sheet. And they retake the lead once again. Right on the hour mark, it is Essendon Royals 1, Nunawading City 2.
Come on, let's go again. Come on.
And the hubbub of the balcony falls silent. That wasn't in the script. Essendon Royals really come flying out of the blocks in this second half. And when Niwa Takumi put them back on level terms, it looked like normal order had been restored, but Nunawading have responded well, and Stuart Edgar has scored their second. And with less than half an hour to go, a famous win away from home against a team 6 spots and 13 points ahead of them on the table is very much in the offing. Still plenty to play out here. Hopefully you can stay with us on YouTube and Facebook as Kelly gets in a tangle. Tempers flaring on the far side. Stakes ever rising here. Particularly for Royals, who are 4th. And that loss last week away from home to North Geelong put them at risk of losing touch with the top 3, and if they lose another one here, that could really be problematic for them. They've got time to turn it around. As Martin miscues that clearance, that'll help for the Royals. Can they make the most of this opportunity? It's Gazardi, now Adiemi. He'll look to flash the ball across the area. Back to Takumi, the goal scorer. Has he got another in him? Quick feet. It's Takumi. He's got the ball in a string, but he can't quite find the shot. And it ricochets into the path of Martin, who will be thanking his lucky stars that nothing came of that mistake of his a moment ago. Botched clearance really put his team under pressure. But Royals couldn't make the most of the opportunity. Almost 65 minutes played. Interestingly, I've only had the one substitution, and that was way back in the 20th minute because of an injury to Brad Norton. You'd have to think that both Michael Ferrente and Steve Vasukis, the respective coaches, will be starting to think about changes. And just as I say that, the Nunawading players are getting up to have a run. So you'd think that maybe changes could be in the offing there. Of course, Nunawading haven't had a substitution yet. As Royals come forward through Takumi, stroking it. And almost a dangerous back pass there from Vasiglio. That could have been a Keystone Cops-like own goal. Dear me. They were lucky to get away with that one, Nunawading, and now they're at the other end. It's Slavica. He's already scored one. Oh, and he wasn't far away from a second. And a third for Nunawading City. And he really should have done better. It opened up for him on the break. He hit it well enough. It just slid past the upright. Did take a touch on the way through, though, so it is a Nunawading City corner. Both teams living dangerously at the back. Look out, we've got two balls on the pitch. Slavica with the corner. And that skims all the way through. It's cleared off the line and now it's tapped in. And the goal stands. And Nunawading City are 2 goals clear with under 25 minutes to play. And a huge upset certainly on the cards now. Still trying to identify who scored the goal for the visitors. I think it might be Hodzic, number 15, who tapped it in. Desperate attempt to clear it off the line by Essendon Royals, but they couldn't do so. And it was tapped in, I think, by Hodzic. That's who I'll give it to at the moment. But who cares about the identity? The fact is that Nunawading City have scored 3, and it's Essendon Royals 1. Nunawading 3, 67 minutes played, and it is a long way back for the home side now. And the balcony at Cross Keys has suddenly gone very quiet. And here's Edgar. Bullocking. It's like he's got half the Royals' defence hanging off him. Now a booed. They might go in for the kill here, Nunawading. This could yet be a real thrashing. They certainly look like scoring another. It's Salvisa from a long way out, and again he doesn't miss by a lot. Almost a carbon copy of the shot from 5 or so minutes ago. He's a bit further out this time. Bit of stunned silence among the Essendon Royals fans. Harrington, helped on by Adeyemi, but nothing doing here for the home team. And you'd think Michael Ferrente will be looking to make some changes now. Still just the one substitution made in the game, and that was because of an injury in the first half. Both teams' benches are out warming up. As Liccardi, the man who is the only substitute, goes down, and that's a yellow card for Reardon for Nunawading. So he's the first Nunawading player to go in the book. Michael Ferrente, the coach of Essendon Royals, the only other person to be booked so far tonight. And not only is it a booking, it's also a free kick for Essendon Royals. And with Graham Kelly, that's always a danger for the opposition. This might be their best route back into the contest. Essendon Royals. We're about to tick up to 70 minutes. They're 2 goals adrift. Kelly. And he floats it to the back post, and Katronis was there, but that was always an awkward one. Hayek. Leach. Takumi. Dimitrakis sending it straight up and down the chimney. Game has gotten a bit scrappy. There's some tired legs out there. Over 70 minutes played. It's been a very cool evening, but I'm sure the players are well and truly warmed up by now. It has been a very willing contest. And it's still got a bit to play out as Apostolopoulos gets clear for Nunawading. Went looking for Edgar. It's knocked away from him. Headed back in by Dimitru. Now Edgar couldn't quite get it out from underneath himself. But they can't get out Royals. And it's Slavica again for Nunawading. Now Edgar sends the cross in. There was nobody home. It would normally be him who would be on the end of those, but he was trying to make the assist there, Stuart Edgar. Unsurprisingly, there was no one there to meet it, and the ball is out for an Essendon Royals goal kick. 11 shots now to Nunawading. Essendon Royals 7. It was very lopsided in the first half, but things have certainly turned around. The wind, of course, has to be a factor. It hasn't really dropped all night. It's been very strong to the southern end, and Nunawading have got it at their backs here. Royals are going into it, and you can see there from that attempted clearance by Russo, it really is making it difficult for Royals to clear their lines in this second half. Adiemi. Hodzic, one of the goal scorers for Nunawading, sees it out of play. And it'll be a throw here to Liccardi. Up towards Gazzardi. Nice touch on the turn. He can't quite get the cross in, or he sort of did it, ricocheted. And now that's a cross in. Martin saw it all the way though. And another risky back pass by Vlasiglio. And now Martin's picked it up. They're wanting maybe a penalty or something here in the balcony. That did look a bit risky. Referee says play on. Long clearance and a difficult bounce for Harrington, and now Russo arrives. Almost a tricky moment at the other end. Andrew Vlasiglio has had a couple of very questionable back passes which have put his keeper under the cosh. Sure, he might get a talking to from his captain after the game. Here's Slavica though on the break. They can put the finishing touches on things here, Nunawading, if they can make the most of this as Edgar goes down. He certainly made the most of it, but the foul was there. And it's a free kick in very inviting territory for the visitors. They already lead by 3-1. And a fourth will well and truly put this game beyond doubt. And really put Essendon Royals seasons on the skid. If they do concede another one here. As I mentioned, they lost last week. And next week, this time next Friday night, they're at home against their local rivals, Pascoe Vale. Whilst for Nunawading, they're off to the Goulburn Valley next weekend, and they've got a match against Hume in the Australia Cup in midweek. Free kick here for Nunawading. It's a boot and Demetriou takes it. And Russo saw it all the way. Gazzardi. Scythe down, but a good challenge there by Dimitrakis. He got the ball. And now it's a Nunawading throw. Everything going the visitors' way now. Both halves have played out somewhat similarly, and the team going against the Breezes started strongly and scored, and then the side with the Breezes taking control. The only difference being that Nunawading, when they had the breeze, they've made the most of it, scoring twice. Essendon Royals will be really ruining not scoring in the first half when they did have the breeze at their backs. Looks like a change has been made here. Mazi Ali is on below us. Not sure who he's replaced. We'll try and work that out in a moment, but that is the first change, or the first proper change, I suppose, for Essendon Royals. Certainly their first change of this second half. And here is Ali. To Katronis, back towards Ali, who's in behind here. Looked like there was a bit of shirt pulling, and now it's Katronis on the follow-up, and they've got a lifeline, the Royals. Well, it wasn't a goal that's going to feature in too many highlights packages, but it's given Essendon Royals some hope here with less than 15 minutes to play. Good work by the substitute Ali, who brought the ball into the area. And there was a massive players milling around the 6-yard box. There was a lot of pushing and pulling. A few questionable challenges, but the referee let it go, and Marcus Katronis was there to make the most of it and score Royals' second goal. Strong tackle by Takumi in midfield, and then a nutmeg, and the fans on the balcony have suddenly found their voice again. Katronis out towards Gazzardi to the byline, and now it's back towards Katronis, who wasn't far from a second. Takumi on the follow-up. Suddenly it's like they've had a shot of adrenaline, Essendon Royals. The amazing qualities of a goal. It's incredible what just an injection of confidence and belief can do to teams. And Essendon Royals have got a timely dose of it now as Edgar flicks on that clearance. There's nobody there to run onto it for Nunawading. Looks like some changes being readied here for the visitors, who I don't think have made a change at all. And we're nearly at 80 minutes. Not often you see games where teams play 80 minutes without making a change. Russo. Straight out of play in front of the Nunawading bench, where you can see a few players getting ready. Reed. Ishibashi. All the way back to Martin.
You know he's going to do it, Geordie. You know he's going to do it.
He again took a big chance there, Dennis Martin, with Adiemi on rushing. But he kept his cool, and now his team's got the ball at the other end. They've still got their noses in front. Slavica, Apostolopoulos, Takumi right with him. Closes him down and thought he'd won the throw. The referee had other ideas. And that's going to give Nunawading City the opportunity to make some changes. Christian Cavallo's one player coming on, number 18. We may have to take this throw first, though. It's Reardon. And he's thrown that straight to the opposition. Hayek just hoists it high. The man who threw it to him, Reardon, wins the header. Apostolopoulos. Nobody home on that occasion for Nunawading, and Essendon Royals try and catch them on the break. Quick clearance. Adiemi couldn't quite control it. It was a difficult one. Leach in midfield, won it back. Kelly now. Gazzardi. Lovely touch inside the area. Danger here for Nunawading. He pulls it back. There was no one there to meet it, though. Groans of frustration on the balcony. Reardon sees it out of play and then promptly falls over like he's a gum tree that's just been sawn down. And here comes Gazzardi to the byline. And he knocks it off a Nunawading defender for a corner. Looking at the board, it looks like it's Apostolopoulos who's going to come off for Cavallo, who will come on. Apostolopoulos is doing some physio work, though, at the moment. He's helping his teammates stretch out. He's got a bit of cramp. I think it's Hodzic, one of the goal scorers. And now he's up and he's got some defending to do because Royals have got a corner. Change is being made, though. It's Geoffrey who's coming on. And it's Demetriou who's coming off. He's had a good game. Helps set up the goal. Really should have scored one of his own. Reardon's also coming off. And it's De Kretzer is on. De Kretzer and Geoffrey's on. And also Cavallo's on. In comes the corner. Adiemi left it through his legs. Tried to give it a touch on, but it didn't quite work. But he does have a throw here. Takumi. And it's a throw for Essendon Royals. Leach. Adiemi passed that straight to the assistant referee. And it's Cavallo, one of the trio of substitutions made by Steve Vasoukas, who's come on, along with Geoffrey and De Kretzer. I'm not sure who the three players who came off were. I think Apostolopoulos and Reardon were two of them. I'm not quite sure of the third. Here's Reardon. He's still very much out there. He's looking for runners forward. He finds one of them. It's Geoffrey, the substitute, with fresh legs. He's on the edge of the area. Slavica. It sits up, and another substitute. De Kretzer could nearly have been the hero there for Nunawading, but his glancing header went wide. Just over 5 minutes to play at Cross Keys. Essendon Royals still adrift. And Hayek is hobbling off. So it looks like his night is done. I'm not sure who is going to come on in place of Hayek. They might be down to 10 men briefly here. In fact, Hayek is down getting some physio work. He's getting stretched. He might just have some cramp, but either way, he's off the field for the time being, so they are down to 10 here, Essendon Royals. As the ball comes out of play right below us. And now there's going to be a substitution. It's William Thomason who's coming on. And I think it's Hayek who he's replaced. It's a bit difficult to keep track of all the substitutions from this vantage point when they're happening on the other side of the pitch. And after there being only that one substitution with Brad Norton's injury and then none for an hour or so, suddenly we've had a flurry of them. As the ball goes out of play here, and it's a goal kick for Essendon Royals, whose situation is becoming urgent. Time is of the essence for them now. Inside the final 5 minutes, and here's a substitute, De Kretzer, who could make it official. Oh, it's hacked away by Harrington. Ali now. Edgar. Oh, he just brushes off Ali like he was a rag doll. Fair to say the referee won't be getting any Christmas cards from the Essendon Royals fans. Essendon Royals fans will be frustrated with the way this game has gone. They've had more than enough opportunities, and certainly more than enough of the ball to, if not be on level terms, be in front. But right now, they are headed for a second successive defeat, unless they can pull this one out of the fire. They're deep in defence here. Leach tries to clear it. Comes down towards Catronis with a lovely first touch, and then he went down. And the Royals faithful say that's about time. They're pressing forward here, looking for an equaliser. Harrington, headed away by Vasiglio. Here's Thierry right below us. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to come. Stay with us on YouTube and Facebook. Gazardi coming forward here for the home side. He plays it along the floor, and Dimitrakis hacks it clear. But the Royals defenders are up high. They're really pressing now. Thierry. Adiemi. Sorry, it's Ali, the substitute, who helped create their second goal. He can't do much here. Takumi's lost it. Thierry somewhat accidentally won it back, and then loses it again. Game really becoming stretched here. And it bounces into the path of Russo, and some very tired players out there take the chance for a breather. This has been a real war of attrition. It's been entertaining. It's been tough at times. It's been some good goals. It's been some questionable defending. It's had just about everything this game, and it's not done yet. As Slavisa comes away, and he opens the door here for De Kretzer, who's quick, but he's not quite that quick. And Russo cleans up for Essendon Royals, who are pressing high, and that means they're going to leave holes at the back. You sense another goal is coming here. Which end will it be? Here come the Royals. It's Kelly, the skipper. Doesn't have room for a shot. Thomason, the substitute. And now it's Catronis. Catronis has scored a second, but it's not going to count. The flag's up. And the DJ has to quickly turn the music off. That looked like being a moment of joy for Marcus Catronis, who looked as though he'd scored his second goal of this second half and an equaliser. But the flag has gone up, and now pandemonium's broken out because no one seems to know exactly why that was ruled out. And there's a pair of Nunawading players who have been injured in the build-up to that almost goal. And they need some help.
He's going to give him it's all he does.
And now there's another card.
Yellow card. Right only.
Another yellow card for a member of the Essendon Royals coaching staff.
Hey, we've got no coaches next week.
Michael Ferrante is already in the book. I'm not sure if he's the one who's been yellow carded here, but if he is, he will be off. Dramatic scenes here at Cross Keys. We've played the 90 minutes. Amid all that, I didn't see the fourth official put the board up
How's that offside?
for how many minutes of stoppage time there are. That's the least of the concerns of the fans here bellowing next to me. They want to know why that was offside. They'll be debating this long and loud at Cross Keys, especially if it results in another loss for Essendon Royals. And right at the moment, it looks like that's going to be the case.
But the linesman put his flag up. So you sort of go to the linesman and say, why?
So after all that, it's still Essendon Royals 2, Nunawading City 3, and we're back underway. We're into stoppage time. How much? We don't know. There will probably be a fair chunk. Here's Takumi. He's had moments of magic tonight. Niwa Takumi, that wasn't one of them. Vasiglio. Dimitrakis. Risky pass. It's cut off by Thomason. Pouring forward, the substitute. Sends it out wide. Gazardi. They're pouring forward here, Royals. Kelly. Takumi. Navy blue shirts getting back in numbers. Takumi out to Gazardi. He'll take it to the byline. He's into the area now. This is a good run. And he wins a corner. Tension ratcheting up here at Cross Keys. What a finish this is. Katronis with the corner. Martin came out. Leach sends it back in. Knocked away by Vasiglio. Gazardi sends it back in. Flicked on by Adeyemi. Martin saw it coming and wraps his arms around it. And another free kick blown by the referee for Nunawading. And that's not doing anything to dampen the tempers of the home fans. Martin is a bit slow to get up. He's not going to be in any hurry here. His team has the lead. They have had much less of the ball, but they have the lead. They had the lead at half-time. They were pegged back, but they've got it back late in the second half. And despite another spirited fight back by Essendon Royals, they've still got it. They might add to it again. Here's De Crezzo now following up a bood. It ricochets out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick for Essendon Royals, who are very much in last chance saloon territory now. Confusion reigns out there at the moment. It was going to be a goal kick, and now the referee's pointing towards the corner flag,
That means it was a goal kick.
and it's going to be a Nunawading corner.
Well, he's clearly wrong because the opposition ran off.
But the visitors, knowing they're in front, they're not even bothering taking the corner. They're just killing a bit of time. As a bood sends it back towards the corner flag. And this will be a throw for Essendon Royals. but it looks like the home side might have run out of time here. It's going to be one of those frustrating evenings. Thomason with the throw. Leach hacks it on. Dimitrakis heads it back the other way. They've got it where they want it. Nunawading.
You're on your own. Andre, talk to him, mate. He didn't need to hit the ball.
Here's Cavallo, one of the substitutes. Takumi right with him. Takumi goes through the back of him, but the referee lets it go. Takumi's in the wrong half, though. He does win a foul, and now the flag goes up. Takumi looking to get on with it, and the whistle blows again. This is a very contentious and ill-tempered end of the game. It's been a very entertaining affair. I hope you've enjoyed watching it on YouTube and Facebook, but there's certainly going to be a bit of angst, especially amongst the Essendon Royal supporters at the end of this. No shortage of controversy. Thomason sends it all the way back to his keeper. And this might be the last roll of the dice for the home side. Russo puts it down. And now he'll put the foot through it. Along the floor to Thomason. He's got a long way to go. Route one, straight through the middle. Ishibashi headed it away, only as far as Ali. Now Katronis, now Kelly the skipper. And it's knocked away for Nunawading, and that might have just done enough. In fact, they might go on the break. It's De Kretzer now. He'll take it to the corner. Now Giuffre there in support. He's lost it. Here come Royals once again. A long ball. Katronis is scampering after it. He goes down. He was the last man. He went down. They're bellowing here on the balcony. But once again, the referee says play on. And now it's Edgar. And that rolls into the path of Russo. What a game this has been. And it still is. As Adiemi chests it down and Martin got there in time. Las Pantelides looks at his watch. It seems like we crossed 90 minutes about half an hour ago. It's all over now. What a Friday night at Cross Keys. Though the home fans won't remember it fondly. It was an entertaining game, but it's one that's resulted in a frustrating loss for Essendon Royals, who played the better football for the vast bulk of it, had much more of the ball, but they conceded the opening goal through Luka Slavica. They got back on level terms early in the second half through a brilliant goal by Nia Takumi, but then were hit with a sucker punch. Two quick goals to Nunawading through Hodzic, and also Stuart Edgar put the visitors 2 goals clear, and despite a late pullback from Katronis and then a controversial disallowed goal, they weren't able to get a share of the points. It's finished here on a dramatic night at Cross Keys Reserve. Essendon Royals 2, Nunawading City 3.